Ladies and gentlemen, so far on this channel, I've done so many analysis on the possibilities, on the possible combinations from the opposition, where if we have a certain candidate combining the other as the presidential candidate and the running mates respectively. I've given outcomes of various candidates. I've done that one of Kalonzo Musyoka and Matiang'i. I've done with Matiang'i and someone else. I've done so many of them, even Martha Karua as well. But now on this particular video, I want to talk about one that I've not done before. That is of Kalonzo Musyoka being the running mate, the presidential candidate, and then Gachagua being the running mate. That is going to form the basis of this analysis here. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, kindly take a second or two to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, also my number is always here. For those who want to enlighten me further on politics, you cannot hesitate. Just get my number, call me or text me. I'll be able to learn more. If there's a topic you have that you want me to do, please also share with me. Also, most importantly, if you want to support the channel as well, that's the M-Pesa number. You're highly welcome, and thank you so much for the kind gesture. So let me dive into the topic today, but before I do so, 2 seconds please for you to subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua, these two people coming together, putting other factors aside, they have numbers. They have a very strong starting base. Together, Gachagua bringing the 7.5 million, or even 7 million votes from the Mount Kenya region, and Kalonzo Musyoka bringing the 1.5, it takes it to 8.5 million votes, a proper starting base. So before they start the campaigns to the rest of the country, they already have a backing. They already have a home. They already have won the election if it was 2022. So ladies and gentlemen, that is if all the Mount Kenya voters, most of them, actually 90% of the Mount Kenya voters come out to vote. And that 100% of the Kamba region comes out to vote. So that is what Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua are able to bring on board. Now, if you check, when I talk about numbers, they just need proper strategy. Have people like Matiang'i on board to bring a certain percentage of youths in the country who feel like they need a percent of youths and people of the country, voters of the country who feel that they need Matiang'i's governance, his leadership in his team. So therefore, the presence of Matiang'i in that team can be able to attract a number of people from across the country, about 2 million or even more. Now, if you need the lawyer votes as well, you need Natembe on board to come in as a chief and maybe defense cabinet secretary. That is tremendous. It will bring the Tamil movement on board. If you want the coastal region, you get people like Mohamed Ali. And then Nairobi make it a battleground. That is going to be a ticket that will win an election very early in the morning. Putting aside other factors like, maybe let's talk of track record, the youthfulness, the change of leaders, recycling and stuff. So the fact is, if all those factors are put aside and then people are voting based on the tribal aspect, the way they have been doing it before in other elections, then that combination is already good. But if we have these other factors being brought on board, I'm sure the opposition will not take this duo to become the presidential and the running mate respectively. They have to mix. And actually, with my reasoning, I feel strongly that after getting the presidential candidate from the opposition, the running mate must come out of that team. Why? If you see the type of individuals who are there, those characters, I am not so sure whether it is they form a certain group which can have a running mate and a presidential candidate respectively. They need someone else from outside who will come to fix what they are lacking within their team. So ladies and gentlemen, we have to be categorical here that they have to be smart enough, or else it will be actually difficult to challenge William Ruto with weak candidates. So therefore, if you look at this combination, it's a strong one. And what do they have that makes them strong apart from numbers? If they have campaign machines. Gachagua is a campaign machine. If he campaigns in the central Kenya region, moves to some parts like Nairobi, goes to some parts like coastal region, then comes to Kisii here with Matiang'i, I'm very sure that that campaign will be successful. Why? They have an orator in between there, Gachagua. Also, being a grassroots mobilizer, the Mount Kenya is going to get a serious beast within the ground to campaign seriously. So therefore, that is a strength that is not existing in most of the campaigns that we have in this country. It's only William Ruto is an orator inside. Some of them are not even heard. People like Osoro, even if they speak, they're not taken serious. But now regarding Gachagua, whenever he speaks, people are taking him very serious across the country. So the fact remains that that combination, it's perfect. Secondly, my viewers, we also have these people having what you call members of parliament will be huge numbers. Huge numbers. Now, what do I mean by that? They'll be able to produce huge members of parliament, which means that if DCP will front candidates of various seats in the Mount Kenya, Kalonzo Musyoka has proven severally that he can also bring members of parliament. They are able to ensure that they protect votes, in that they have members of parliament who will be campaigning for them at the grassroots. So they'll maintain their bases. And if their parties spread across, plus the ones that are going to be launched by Matiang'i and others, then eventually we are going to have what you call more members of parliament on board, so that in case even if they don't win, they'll be having a huge control of the parliament of Kenya. And that is crucial for the development of this country. I wish that it happens so that the president who wins, he does not have the majority, so that we can have proper oversight, proper presentations of bills in parliament. People who are mature enough, not people who are just going to oppose and propose. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the strength they have. Now, what could be the areas of these people that they should be improving? The areas of improvement. Number one in my list is the issue to do with finance. If Gachagua decides to go with Kalonzo Musyoka, it must be a proper agreement with him and Uhuru Kenyatta, and also we can have Matiang'i on board, so that the issue of finance, because we know very well that Uhuru Kenyatta can help them source finance to be able to campaign across the country. I'm very sure one thing that is preventing Kalonzo Musyoka to move across the country is the issue to do with finance. So if we have Uhuru Kenyatta supporting them, that goodwill will be able to bring more money on board. The Mount Kenya billionaires coming on board. Then internationally we'll be able to source some funds. Uhuru Kenyatta as an individual is also rich. So they can be able to fund this campaign and be able actually to bring more money that can be able to propel the campaigns across the country. They can be able to give William Ruto sleepless nights. So probably, I think if they maintain that kind of a relationship with Uhuru Kenyatta, they're going to have more numbers on. But more finance to campaign to fund their campaigns. But if they are going to go against, then these people are going to be crippled financially. Why? If they don't agree with Uhuru Kenyatta and Matiang'i and other people, that means very well that there's a disagreement, and mostly you are going to have more candidates on board. And having more candidates on board, it's projecting to a rerun. And will these candidates really go for a rerun? It should be impossible, because the Kenyan campaign is so expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, these people also have to be a bit national now. Move to other counties. Project their antennas to other counties. Kalonzo Musyoka has never been to Kisii here for campaigns. And never to Luo Nyanza. Let's talk of Kisumu. He has never been there ever since the Azimio campaigns were over. How I wish that Kalonzo Musyoka can decide now to be national. Move across the country, go to Mombasa, go to Kisii, go to Kuria, and source for votes. Because that is the only way he can be able to look national. Regarding Gachagua as well, he has now, after consolidating Mount Kenya region, he has now to go to other parts of the country so that he can be a national leader, both from the language and all the way to the actions. Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that these people have to do is to have a proper structure of their campaigns. If they don't do that, it's going to be difficult for them to deal with any other candidate in the country, because the moment you have a proper structure, that's how you're going to win. Azimio majorly also failed because of their poor structure of their campaigns, and apart from that, even the organization on the vote even the agents and supervisors, chief agents in Bomas, all those things were not well done. So it's ideal that we have all these people on board. I don't know what's your take, my viewers. This is Mokwa Times. Kindly make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give this channel. See you next time for more videos.